Good evening and thanks for joining us. We begin with breaking news tonight as Hurricane Helene, right now a Category 4, nears landfall in Florida. More than 125,000 customers in the state are without power so far. Airlines have canceled at least 1,200 flights across the country. Millions of residents under mandatory evacuation orders. The storm's impact is expected to stretch across several states.
And so I need everybody to pay attention to their local officials. They're going to have the best information on the specific risks where you are at.
Now, the governors of Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas, and Virginia have all declared emergencies in their states. Here's a live look at Panama City, Florida right now. As you can see, conditions getting worse. This comes to us via EarthCam. A few days ago, we were showing you the same exact shot. It looked a lot different then. The ocean was a lot calmer. The skies were a lot brighter then. The state's Panhandle region is where this is at. The storm there expected to make landfall tonight. And let's get to Chief Meteorologist James Sahara. James, you have obviously been tracking exactly where this storm is right now.
Yeah, so far so good. Is going to actually make his way, unfortunately, around the Big Bend area. And that is the worst place where you can see a wall of water pile up in a very short period of time. And as you mentioned, it's a Category 4 now, folks. Winds sustained around 130 miles an hour. And we noticed that there was a sign, actually, that we would expect to see maybe a Cat 4 out of this just because the pressure has actually dropped. It was 951 about an hour and a half ago. Then it dropped to 945. That is a sign of intensity. And that's probably why we have now had a Category 4 with those strong winds. Of course, some very heavy rain, but the storm surge is going to be a big concern. As you saw from some of those shots that we noticed from Tampa all the way near Panama City, the surges are already popping up. Over 7 feet has been reported just around Tampa. So you can imagine that as you make your way just east of Panama City, how high that water eventually is going to be as we make our way later on this evening. So that is what's going to be making its way off to the north and east as we make our way into the next few hours or so. Around here is a very peaceful scene. It certainly has been that way throughout this week as we're currently seeing temperatures around the mid to upper 70s. We'll see those numbers cool down around the mid 50s overnight, possibly making its way near 80 again tomorrow. But the remnants of Helene will be noticed as well in the form of these clouds that will be coming in later tonight and continuing in tomorrow, and a little bit of that wind as well. And we'll continue with those same elements even as we make our way into the weekend. We'll show you how that impact is going to take place coming up in just a few minutes, John.
Thank you. We reached out to some former Quad citizens now living in Florida. Drew Coffey is in studio to tell us how they are preparing for the storm and how it compares to weather events here in the Midwest. Good evening, Drew.
Hey John, Hurricane Helene, now a Category 4 hurricane, is expected to hit Florida tonight as it advances across the Gulf of Mexico. Damaging flash floods, strong winds, and heavy rains are some of the challenges the storm is bringing, but everyone handles these natural events differently. I spoke with 2 Quad City natives that are experiencing the incoming storm in the Tampa area about how they, as well as longtime Florida residents, are gearing up for when it finally hits. There's little you can do about a natural event.
Hurricane season down here now, like August to November. It's a little scary.
But prepare and wait.
So a lot of people around me have been boarding up their houses.
Brittany Yoakum moved to Brandon, Florida from the Quad Cities 2 years ago and now faces Category 3 Hurricane Helene as it approaches the shores. Yoakum says the weather risks between different states can be an adjustment, but preparation stays the same.
So just to make sure you're not in a flood zone, stay calm, definitely, do all the repercussions as far as getting water, perishable food items, make sure you have flashlights, candles around.
But Yoakum's not a first timer. She dealt with Category 5 Hurricane Ian back in 2022.
Power going out, my car getting damaged, our home getting damaged.
Evacuations are underway for houses near the ocean. Heather Wolf Erickson works at the City of Tampa Parks and Recreation, but she grew up in Moline and says when it comes to natural events, hurricanes are a different animal.
But if a snowstorm is coming, the radar is saying you're going to get a snowstorm and you get a snowstorm. Sometimes we do a lot of prep because this storm is out over the water and it's projected, and you have to do the same preparation as if you're going to get hit.
This can make hurricanes harder to predict, as sometimes they can curve. Yoakum lives far enough from the ocean, so she's decided to stay in her home and wait out the storm. For now.
Like I said, from what people have told me, it's nothing to worry about and to try to stay calm because it misses us every year. But it takes one time.
We want to clarify that just recently the hurricane has been updated to a Category 4 storm, and governors of Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia have issued emergency warnings. Erickson says the city of Tampa has handed out over 50,000 sandbags over 3 days, and along with this, they're also turning down electricity and shutting down water pumps in preparation for the storm. We'll give more details tomorrow on the severity of the storm's damage. John, back to you.
Drew, thank you. And we've been getting a lot of photos and messages from Quad City residents who happened to be in Florida before the storm, and some from Quad City natives who now live there. And they've been sending us these photos and messages about what they're seeing as the storm approaches, from rising water levels to people getting animals to safety. Here are just a few that we've gotten so far tonight.